Have we met?
Oh boy! All right, so let's just get right into my frustrating ass morning that I had today. So as the people at home may not know, I do record. How me and Conrad actually met was through my band recording at his studio here, and since then I've worked with him for many years, recording various projects. But my point being, lately, a song that I recorded last year with you, I tried to get that scheduled to go on distro last night, and got a email this morning informing me that it had been bought from, like, the beat had been purchased from someone else under exclusive rights, and that boom, God, it no longer belongs to me. Even though I bought a license, I have a license, and I'm still very cloudy about how all this works, but apparently my license just doesn't matter anymore, not only because an exclusive license was bought, but it was bought by fucking Warner Music. So here I am, just a little guy. Yeah. Just like, hey, here's my contract. But it's so, like,
what are they going to do about it?
See, that's the thing. Like, and here's the frustration of the whole matter is just like, there's nothing to even really be done about it without dumping way more money than it's worth and way more money than I have access to, because, like, you got to literally talk to, like, lawyers and stuff like that, get them involved. And, man, it's just, it's wild. And I guess, like, I'm just ranting because it's frustrating to me. I don't know if there's a point to any of this, but, like, it's just wild to me that, like, because this was off BeatStars. I bought the beat on BeatStars. This is...
Which track? Which one was your track?
This was Lately.
Lately?
Yeah, this is the one. I just got the wave from you, like, a few days ago, last week or something. But, yeah, so the point being just, like, what... You've done production on, you know, for many rappers in the area and stuff like that. You've worked on plenty of beats, and just, like, as far as licensing goes, like, what, like, do you have any input on that situation? Like, what can one do about it at that point? Like, do you go to the beat maker? Do you go to, you know, your distribution and argue the copyright claim? Because all of these things seem a little impossible at this point, because, like, you got all these virtual assistants on the websites anymore. Like, you can't talk to people.
Yeah. Here's part of the problem. Part of it is you have anyone in the world who can make a beat, and then they just, they can start a website on BeatStars, and then they ask, okay, how do you want to price it? And they don't think about the legal parts of it.
Right.
So you have little Timmy making beats, and even to the giants making beats, but, like, specifically, not picking on anybody specifically, but little Timmy is making his beats.
Hi, it's me,
and
he's little Timmy.
He's not thinking about the legal stuff,
right?
And he's not thinking about, okay, I can have exclusive rights, or I'll send out licenses to, maybe, if he's lucky, 50 people buy it up. And they're using it across the world, and then all of a sudden somebody wants exclusive rights.
Right.
What happens at that point? What is your legal process for that? And the problem, there's the issue, I think, is we're not thinking about those things. The second problem is what you're running into right now, which means, do you weigh out how much it costs to continue to carry that beat legally? Is it worth the time versus just come in the studio and we'll write a banger that'll fit up perfectly with you?
Yeah. Well, see, but, like, it's also not quite that easy, because when you're writing to these instrumentals, like, the lyrics that go with it and the flow of the beat, like, yeah, it's easy you can match up drums all day and get a pretty equivalent product, I think. But, like, it's so hard for me to just, like, take a part of this song and just glue it onto something else. And, like, it's just demoralizing, and I needed to get that off my chest a little bit because it was very fresh. I just woke up this morning, and first thing was a email from DistroKid saying, like, oh, the stores don't like this about your song.
Yeah.
And like, I just bought the beat last year too, so like that's it's just frustrating. And I don't know if it's like a indictment on like BeatStars and kind of like you were saying, like the legality of the process, and if people aren't considering all that when they're forming these licenses and contracts and whatnot, like if that's an indictment on the whole system, I don't know, but I feel like something needs to be clarified a little bit with people when they're buying these things, because like I have a license, like I have a thing. It says, and you know, it's not the exclusive license that you buy for thousands of dollars. It's the $100, you know, hey, you get the wave and the stems, and you can stream it this many times. You can make a music video for it. But like, why is it that somebody else, even if it is an exclusive contract, like why does that just void everything before that? And is that typically the case even? Like, I don't know if that's the case or not, because it shouldn't be, because I don't know. I looked it up, and this was all in the 2 hours before I came here this morning. But the best I can understand it is that like, it's not typical. And I don't know if it's because like Warner Music is involved. Like if they have a more sweeping buyout that they can do on these beats that just, and maybe what it ultimately is just them daring you to do something about it, honestly, because what the fuck are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
And I don't know, man, just like the music industry as a whole, like I feel like this is just like a microcosm of a bigger problem, and like the attitude that people have around artistry and stuff anymore. And I don't know.
Yep.
And this particular situation is also convoluted by the fact that like BeatStars, yes, that's a American company, but the producer, he's from Thailand. The person that apparently now has the contract, at least the person that has the song that the beat's now licensed to, is from the Czech Republic. And like, what kills me, it's not even a good song. I don't, it doesn't even sound good. And like, he's got a shit ton of view bots. Like, it's like 2 million views on his YouTube channel. And just like, I don't know, man. I just don't buy it. And I'm frustrated. And maybe all that's legitimate and I'm just being a bitch about it. But it's so frustrating.
I 100% feel your frustration on that in so many aspects of the music and artist industry.
Mm-hmm.
It's a problem. One thing, and I'm gonna pick on Spotify for a minute and say that their algorithm, their platform is a rat race.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, even back in the 60s, 70s, I mean, when music came along, if you didn't have money, if you didn't have somebody that had connections and ends,
right,
even a long time, way before the internet, it was if you could be the most amazing artist in the world and put out the biggest potential hits in the world, but if they don't get in the hands of the right people, you're just sending it out into space.
Yeah.
And no one's going to hear it.
Right.
Like 2 or 3 people can hear it, but you can't expect them to be a voice for everybody.
Mm.
Like it has to, I mean, you can get like this like viral sort of, like avalanche sort of rolling.
It's like hitting the lottery. I mean, that's essentially what you're waiting for.
And you and I both know, I mean, we've put out probably, just from our Hello Carolina band, we've put out 120 minutes worth of music. And I mean, I'll just be completely transparent with everybody. I think we've collected, just from my share, and I don't know what you guys have pulled out, but like, I think we've made $20.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. Like,
it's not always about the money. Like, we love doing what we do. And if we did it for the money, we wouldn't be doing it here today.
It would be hard to be at all motivated with the amount of money we've gotten, if that's what the motivator was. But I don't know. I think with Spotify and like streaming, it's obviously an inevitable transformation of the way, not just the music industry, but the way that people consume content as a whole. Because like, even you can see it in the movie industry and TV, music, whatever, like it's the attention span problem. It's like nobody is like, it's hard for people to get through a 3 or 4 minute song anymore. I feel like anyway.
Yeah, I feel like I know where you're going at with all the singles and and no albums.
I mean, that's another thing. I mean, everything transforming to more single-based stuff, which is what I've been trying to do. And I think that's maybe a better path for new artists, just to build your buzz, is do singles. That way you can just have constant releases one after the other. You're always feeding these algorithms because, if you want your music out there, you have to feed the beast. you have to pay the troll toll. And what that troll toll is ultimately is just feeding content into these platforms. That way they can keep people watching their platform. So I don't know. As far as Spotify and all that goes, though, it's a transformation with the way people listen to music. And I think the way people release music is vastly different, and maybe I think Spotify and streaming may have helped in some regards as far as just letting people be heard at all. Because I mean, before you would have to go through promotion companies or record labels to get your CD printed. And I'm sure there were indie ways to do it before. I wasn't doing music back in the time when there wasn't the internet and all that, so I don't know exactly how it worked, but I mean, it seems like it was a lot harder to have your music released back in the day unless you were, financed to do so pretty heavily. And now you can have very little money and have very professional sounding music out on the internet.
Technology has allowed someone who can't sing at all come out of the wash and be somewhat okay with pitch correction and modern tools to modify their abilities.
And I mean, that's not even to talk about what AI is doing with music, and that's a whole other.
Oh yeah, we can have a special on that one.
Yeah, we're gonna have to break open the AI can of worms eventually. I have a lot of thoughts on that, but I don't know. I guess my point with the whole streaming thing is just I think that there's a give and take with just the ability to have exposure and the payment, because right now, with the songs that I do have on Spotify, Apple Music, whatever, am I getting paid much for them? No, I'm making less than a cent per,
it's demoralizing if you look at it.
I mean, demoralizing is the key word, I think, in the music industry these days, but I think it's better this way, that you can at least have your music get out there. You can create your small little niche fan bases and stuff like that. And I mean, even that's hard to do. You have to work at it, with the promotion side of things and whatnot. Mm-hmm. So I mean, the task at hand, if you are a small artist, is still a mountain to climb. But it's at least a mountain that you can climb now. And I don't know that it was as accessible back then. So I don't know. I hate that streaming has done what it has to people as far as paying artists and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But hell, back in the 70s, 80s, 90s, people were just getting ripped off by the record labels and getting shit on in a different way. So I don't know. I don't know what the good side of all of it is, but at least now it's very easy for you to put music together and release it to the world. And I mean, that's amazing. That's an amazing thing that we have.
I can tell you something that I have done for artists in the past who just don't want to deal with other folks' music. And I've done this probably over the past 10 years. And I mean, these are all rap hip hop artists. I would say I've probably done 20 or 30 of these. Mm-hmm. And what it is they'll say, I like this blah, blah, blah type beat. I really like the style. I like the sound. Yeah. And what we'll do is we'll go ahead and pull the track. I'll let them do their thing on the track with that. And what I'll do is afterwards they'll take off. And what I'll do is I'll write the song right in the session.
Right.
I'll pull the original beat out that was from YouTube. Right. I'll make it the same tempo, I'll make it the same key.
Yeah,
but it'll be just a little. I mean, I'm not saying I'm ripping them off, but I'm saying it's.
Right.
I'll rewrite a beat that, if you were to compare apples to apples, be like, yeah, they sound similar, but they're not the same beat.
Well, already like the beat that you're working off of is probably using a sample from something else that is not even being credited anymore. So like, I don't know. It's all so convoluted and messy. I mean, and I don't know what the answer to that is, because it's such a mainstay in music anymore, as far as like, and we talked about this last time, I think, with like just sample using and stuff like that, and people not getting credited properly for things that they recorded 30, 40 years ago that are now in the biggest pop songs in the world. Like, I was surprised, like, this is a little bit off topic, but I saw like how they made Sabrina Carpenter's Espresso instrumental, and like literally it was like an old school sample that they just like took 2 cuts out of, and then they slapped some drums on it, and then that turned into one of the biggest songs in the world. So and like, does anybody know where that sample came from? Yeah. Like, I'm sure somebody does, but how many people know, who? So I don't know, like, accreditation to everything is important, but people have forgotten about that. Like, people are forgetting the artists that actually wrote this shit. Yeah. Like, they're getting lost in the wash. And that sucks. But, I mean, I don't know. To kind of get back to the streaming side of things, something that I am kind of excited to see, A Day to Remember, they just released a new album last month. And what they actually did was they released physical copies like 2 or 3 weeks before it went on streaming. And cool. I'm actually excited to see bands start doing that, because I like physical copies. I dig that, and I feel like physical copies are also going to put more money directly into the band's hands, because that's going to go into their merch coffers at that point. Right. So like, I don't know. That's something that I'm excited to see a lot of bands do, and I hope it becomes the norm more and more, so you do see bands getting paid. Because, I mean, if bands start getting paid what they're worth for the art that they're giving the world, then they're going to make better art, because you're more motivated, you're more excited about the things that you're doing, because you know that you're going to be, appreciated for it in some way or the other. So
it brings up an interesting topic that we could talk about for a sec, just the sheer fact of, are people craving physical things in a digital world? I mean, we ask the world that question. I mean, I've got, I feel like maybe we do, right. But people that don't know any different, like my son who's 6, it's like, yeah. What, the other day, this here's a small example. He's like, Daddy, look at this. What's this? He's like, I said, it's a CD. It was a video game. It was like Halo or something. Right. The OG Halo, the first one. I'm hanging on to it because I feel like that'll be worth money someday. But maybe, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
You're like, no, it's not. Anyway, so I was like, it's a physical copy, and so when we want a new video game now, we just download it.
Right. Yep.
And he's like, hey, there's a game right there. Get that game. And, we have like Game Pass, and I can just get these games for free and stuff. So just for him to think of something physical, like he didn't perceive it.
Right.
So I don't know.
No, yeah. I mean, I think that there is like something kind of nostalgic tied up with like physical copies of things. Like, I mean, I don't know about your parents, but my parents have a fucking library of DVDs.
Yeah. It's CDs for my dad for sure. They still have.
Oh, they have the CD towers too.
The decorative CD thing, or it's like stacked. I think that's still in their living room.
I think there is a lot of nostalgia tied into that, but I mean, obviously, like there is some kind of tangible value in having a physical copy of something in your hands. Right in front of you. Like, there's something to that. It's not just like, is this more valuable than the digital? Like, yes, it is more valuable than the digital. But, like, as far as, is it important to people now? Like, it depends on how convenient it is, honestly. Because, like, with video games in particular, that's I think that's a great example for where it's extremely more convenient just to buy it on the digital stores at this point. And like, even, have you seen what's been going on with the Switch 2 release and all that?
I've heard echoes of, I'll say that last night I saw a little ad of it and I was not paying attention because I was watching Duke lose in the last 30 seconds of the ball game, which was kind of satisfying to see the perfect team actually fail.
Howdy. I hope Hello Earth has been tickling your ear holes with loads of fruitful perspectives. But listen here, partner. It's time you stop freeloading on their material and hit that there subscribe button. It's that big old button that says subscribe. Go on now. Don't be shy. Click it like you're ringing a dinner bell. And while you're at it, tap that little bell icon too. So you don't miss the next time these boys go rambling about aliens, conspiracies, and whatever other strange stew the universe cooks up next. Now quit lollygagging and subscribe before the deep state shuts them down.
So with the Switch 2, one, I don't want to get into that whole bag of worms, but that one very small piece of it is that some of the games that were coming out, that are coming out for it, apparently are moving to this system where, like, you'll get a physical copy, you'll get the cartridge, but then that cartridge, all that it is a key for you to download the game off the store. And then you would need the key in your console with the downloaded version of the game to play the game. So, like, and that's how I understand what's going on. I don't know if they, maybe it's a little bit better than that and they just need the cartridge to download the game. But even that is a little ridiculous. It's like, just put the fucking cartridge, or put the game on the cartridge. Like,
yeah.
Have we lost this technology? It's like, it's kind of like the whole NASA thing. It's like, why can't we go back to the moon? It's like, oh, we just don't know how to do it anymore. It's just like, can we not put data on discs anymore either? Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand. But to get back to the convenience of it all, like CDs, DVDs, I mean, I think everything kind of has a streaming platform anymore, like Spotify, your Netflix, all that stuff, your Game Pass, whatever it is. Like, I don't know. I don't know if you can convince people that are up and coming into this world that these physical copies actually have value, because, like, once again, for the physical copies to be valuable, you need something to play them on. And, like, is everybody playing games on their PC? Is everybody just watching, you know, their movies and stuff? Like, we just watch movies off the PlayStation. Like, we don't have a VCR. We don't have a DVD player. I don't even know if PS5s play Blu-rays anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I will say, a girl I know, she is in 7th grade. What would that be age-wise? 13, 12, something?
Yeah, something.
Okay. And she wanted a CD player for Christmas, and then she got, like, physical copies of CDs. So I think back in the day, like at my age, having a record player was the same thing, like kind of a relic.
I mean, no, that's kind of like, I have a record player too. I mean, just because it was kind of a cool thing to have. And I mean, I guess that's a great point, because I mean, it's kind of, like you said, it's kind of like a relic. Like, this is historical. Like,
yeah,
this has history behind it. But I mean, I guess, yeah, CDs, cassettes, all that. I mean, you kind of see the same thing with cassettes too. Every now and then, like, it seems like, you know, the quirky teenager in a movie will have, like, a cassette player or something like that. And, like, I don't know, it's kind of, I guess, like a hipster thing now, I guess.
Yeah.
Like,
it makes you, here's the funny thing to think about. So, like, our age and broader think of, like, record players as sort of, like, vintage, classic, kind of relic-y. And then it looks like, you know, what's the Gen Y, what are the... I don't. I'm not up to I'm not up to snuff with all the terms here, but
Yeah,
you know where I'm going at, like
Right.
age-wise, like the folks that are 12, 13, and then maybe 5 years older and younger
Right.
think of CD players as their relic. So now you've got my son, Jack, who has seen none of those. Like, what's going to be their relic? Streaming on Spotify? You know what I'm saying?
Right, and like
it makes you
that's-
think what the future looks like.
Yeah, and I mean that's so sad, like in a way, because like I don't know, we had CD players, we had all of this, we had the boombox, we had all this physical stuff, but like what are they holding on to? Like what I don't know. It's weird to wrap your mind around. Like they're not going to appreciate their Spotify app like they're going to appreciate, like we appreciated like a Walkman or something like that back in the day. Like
if I were to guess, and I love thinking about this stuff, like what does 20, 30, 40 years look from now in the entertainment business as far as like playing content? I mean, we still need to hear it physically. That's never, ever going to change.
Right.
But the medium that it comes through could change. So like implants,
Right.
could that be a thing? Could there be like some little like tiny little
Yeah.
thing that goes in our ear, we can't even see it, and it plays our music, and we like blink our eye 3 times and it plays something special, or we think in our mind, oh, I want to hear Taking Back Sunday. So all of a sudden, boom, cute without the E
right.
comes on, or whatever, and so we think about
I mean,
those things.
we're definitely moving to something like that. Okay, definitely, but you hear about like Neuralink and stuff like that,
Yeah.
where this is the first like brain implant, and it's not being used in that capacity to for content
Entertainment, yeah.
and entertainment. But I mean, we're definitely moving in a direction that would suggest like there's going to be. Everything needs to happen quicker and quicker and quicker as time goes on. Like people, it goes back to attention spans. Like not only you have so long to capture their attention and your content, you only have so long to give them your content before they go to the next thing. So like everybody's just like in an arms race to get you their product.
Who
or
can
their
scream the
entertainment.
loudest?
Right, exactly, and the fastest. Like so
And you could think about it in terms of, so what if we are streaming things in our ears that are with implants and all this other stuff? What would happen? That their vintage is going to be, oh, we're not going to play it through our Neuralink. We're going to actually listen to it through a set of speakers. That might be their relic.
Right. Yeah. I mean, what if it just ends up like you're absorbing the essence of the song? Like you don't even have to hear the whole thing. Like,
There's this thing that I've discovered, and I'm late to the game, so y'all can make fun of me if you want in the comments. There's this thing called silent discos.
yeah.
So
There is.
everybody has a headset. Just to give you context, if you don't know what it is, everybody has a headset, and they're playing the same content through all these heads. And if you look in the crowd and you don't have a headset on, it is the wildest, dumbest looking thing you've ever seen. Just
Right.
a sea of people moving and dancing, and you can't hear anything. It's just them all moving around.
Right.
It looks so
Okay.
funny.
I don't know. I guess let's take the other side here. Like what is the point of it? I guess like you're locked in to the music.
Mm-hmm.
You look silly, but everybody looks silly doing all kinds of stuff. So let's put that to the side for a second. Like, are these people just like that desperate not to talk to other people? Because like this is like that's what, like when I'm at work, if I got my headphones in, don't fucking talk to me. Like,
Yeah.
it's as simple as that. And luckily at work, we are required to wear headphones all day. So just
Nice.
don't fucking talk to me. But like, I don't know. It's just like, are these people just like, do you think it connects them with it? Like, I don't know. Like, is it more immersive this way? Is that the idea, I guess? Like,
I think that's it. I think it's more like, hi, what's your name? Like you're yelling at
Right.
somebody if you're at a club sort of thing.
right.
I'm Jim.
Right. You're cutting all that out. Yeah.
Can I buy you a drink?
All the mess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like from the movies, or in real life. But so I think it's more of an immersive thing. Like if you're going to the club just to dance and get immersed in the music, headphones is the way to go. You miss that like body kick, you know what I'm saying, from like a big set of subs in the club.
Oh, you're right. No, like I think that's a huge point though, because like that's a huge part of live music for me anyway, is like because like when you're in a venue and like this is with a band playing, or you can just be in a club and there can be speakers, which I'm not a club guy. I'm not going to any clubs, let me be clear.
Oh, I know you're clubbing.
But like as far as just music venues, that's more my experience with it. Like you can feel the music, like you can feel it on your body. Like, and I don't know, like why are you like, I don't know if you would. I don't understand the motivation to dance to music that you're just listening to in headphones, I guess. But I'm not a dancer either, so maybe I'm just speaking a little bit out of my box at the moment.
Yeah, I will say there's a lot of people that love to dance. I'm sort of with you there. I'm not much of a dancer. I like to perform.
I just feel like a goofy guy when I dance. Like I don't like nobody's taking me seriously, and I don't need to be taken seriously all the time. But like I'm just like, why am I doing this?
If we dance in our videos, it's surely for entertainment purposes, not for our own personal pleasure.
I mean, pretty much, I would say 98% of the times that I have danced in life have been in our music video shoots. Like that is the vast majority of my hip thrusting.
Yeah,
or I don't know. Pause, but
well.
Just gave myself away there. I've never had sex.
No, not at all.
But
and your parents have only had sex once, and that was to have you.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know how my brother got here, but
yeah,
he was
adopted.
From this guy.
If you pick on him, just tell him,
Right. But I don't know. Content at large is in a transition period, I think, to some degree, because like even with AMC and stuff like that, they're talking about moving their window back from like physical releases and stuff, or I guess going to streaming is more the issue. AMC, I don't know what the rule is now, but I think they were going to try to push it to like a 45-day window or something like that, to where from the time movies are in theaters, that's how long it takes for them to be streaming. Mm-hmm. And like I have noticed that a lot lately, is like there's movies that are on streaming before like I realize that they're out of theaters anymore. And like I do think that's going to take away from the theater experience, but also like the theater experience has just gotten so
Well, I will tell you this, and this is a weekend observation. I took my kid to go see the new Minecraft movie.
Oh yeah.
And I have played Minecraft with him for about a grand total of maybe 2 or 3 hours. I know enough about it to look like a noob and a fool.
Sure.
And all the terminology is just over my head. Not to say that I didn't enjoy making a little castle and keeping the Ender Dragon out of there or whatever. But
no, I'm a huge fan of survival games. I just never got into Minecraft.
He loves it. He's all into it. And gets all these references because he watches these videos of other kids playing them on YouTube. I'm like, how do you know all this stuff? Is wild. But let's skip all that because I'm kind of dancing around my point. We went to what we used to call the Dollar Theater. For those who are listening, it's Carolina Theater. I think it's like $5 a person now, which is amazing.
Right, yeah.
And there was a time where I'm fairly certain that theater was struggling a little bit, and they've done some remodels. That place was packed. I mean, really? Sold out. Day one, it was sold out.
I'm glad to hear that because I know that they have struggled before. So
which kind of was shocking to me because of what you were mentioning. Because I'm right there with you. I'm like, do people want to go to the movies anymore? They've got these 4K TVs and surround sounds and all this other stuff and this technology just to bring the theater right to your home.
Right.
And I still feel like people crave to get out of their home. And I don't feel like that it's ever going to change. I mean, maybe if VR can take you somewhere else,
right,
that might be something, but I still feel like people want to get out. They want to smell the popcorn.
Yeah.
They want to see other people. So I don't think it's dead yet, but we'll see.
I'm a little bit, out of my area of expertise with movies and stuff in general. Because, like, I've never been a movie guy per se. Like, I'm not able to sit down and watch, like, super long movies very often.
Yeah.
And, like, even movies that I'm interested in, like Interstellar, for instance. Like, that's a movie I've wanted to see pretty much since it came out. But, like, every time, like, I look it up, it's like, oh, this is, like, 3 hours long.
I love that movie.
Right. And, like, I just can't, like, it turns my stomach to see a time like that long. I'm just like, oh my God.
I love it alone for just the score, the musical score.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I've heard tons of good things about it, and I mean, it seems like a crazy story, and eventually I'll get there one way or the other, but just it's a task is my point. So that being said, like, I'm not going to movies that often anyway. Mm-hmm. But me and Emily, we did have the AMC pass a few years back. This was when Marvel was in the full swing of things with releasing movies all the time, and I was very much into the Marvel movies. Yeah. I'm very much a comic book guy, but I don't know. It's just so damn expensive outside of the tickets, like, because the AMC pass, like, that was actually a great deal because you can go see like 4 movies a week or something like that. It's dirt cheap for
my
the
buddy
pass itself.
Was doing that.
So, like, if you are the type of person that wants to go see movies all the time, then you have to have the AMC pass as far as that goes, because you are. It is a crazy value, but they are just betting on you not cashing in on those 4 movies a week every week. But that being said, like,
that's a good point.
The experience was like, I don't know. I'm not gonna make a big deal about it. It wasn't that bad, but, like, I don't know. People on their cell phones and, like, people talking, and, like, there seems to be this, like, general consensus now that people want to cheer when things happen in movies and movie theaters. And, dude, I could start throwing shit when people start clapping and cheering for a movie in a movie theater. Like,
well, buddy, I gotta tell you, you would have been absolutely miserable at this Minecraft movie. The kids everywhere from 4, 5, 6, my son was 6, to, like, I even saw maybe like a couple 18, 19-year-olds. And God. Every one of them, they've never, this movie's never been out. Mm-hmm. Never been out. I got to give you some context here. And Jack Black plays Steve. He's the main character in the video game. Mm-hmm. And he's like, one of the guys was like, who are you? He's like, my name is, and as he started saying it, everybody in the whole theater said it with him, and they've never seen the movie before. And I'm sitting here like, looking around like, huh? Did I miss the memo?
I've seen some clips online where I have no context for the scene, but it's Jack Black and Jason Momoa in, like, a boxing ring, and, like, there's a little chicken dude, and then
it was a good movie.
I don't know what it means, but Jack Black says, like, chicken jockey, and everybody just oh my God.
No, there were scenes like that where everybody throughout the entire movie would freak out. Like, apparently there was this chicken with this jeweled king's hat that walked. Is like, what is that? And everybody's like clapping. So that must have been something big in the video.
Like, I don't know. Like, I think that's a little bit different because that's like a kid's movie. Like, you're talking about a bunch of kids in a theater, and, like, that's kind of cool. Like, I'm glad they're excited, I guess, for something like that. But, like, when I'm watching Avengers Endgame and there's a bunch of motherfuckers that look like me standing around going, yeah! I'm just like, shut up.
Yeah. No, I get that.
I don't care that he said the line. I don't care.
I mean, I knew this was coming, the point where you're out of the loop with everything, but Saturday night at watching Minecraft with my kid, that's when it really hit home that, like, I'm old now, and I don't get the references anymore. But I want to. I feel left out. Like, I feel sad. Like, I'm walking out of this movie theater like, I need to go pick this game up so I can catch all these references. Yeah. I mean, it's downloaded on my upstairs. We can go play it. But
it's just so wild to me. Like, like I said, I never got into Minecraft, but I tried playing it. Like, some of my friends were into it a little bit, and I tried playing with them. I just didn't like it, but, like, I never would have assumed that there was enough, like, story content in there to, like, make a movie out of, like, just from what I saw. Like,
I gotta say, though, it was good. Like, I enjoyed it. I really did. It was kind of silly at times.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, it is based off of like blocky building stuff, and but it was really good. The acting was good. It was entertaining from beginning to end. Jack Black is a national treasure.
Yeah,
like he can sing his ass off. He's multi-talented. I've always loved Jack Black in everything he does. But good God, man, he's got it. He's got that. He's got that. I don't know what it is, but he's got it. You know what I mean?
The pick of destiny, I think, is what you're looking for.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's got the pick of destiny for sure.
But yeah, to go all the way from singing about kielbasa sausage to being in the Minecraft movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
And everything in between. He has had a wild career.
And kids love him. Kids love him.
There was something... We can maybe look into that another time. I remember seeing something recently about, like, there is, like, some, like, kind of weird conspiracy stuff with, like, one of his parents or something, though. Like, I don't remember what it is, so I don't want to go off on a limb there, but there is something there, I think. But, yeah, Jack Black's the man. I'm glad to see him still doing so well. And, like, I remember, like, last year there was the whole thing with Tenacious D and after
making that comment.
Right, yeah, making the comment after the Trump rally, after the assassination attempt. So I'm glad that they're rebounding and not, just hiding in the shadows now or anything. Bring KG back.
Yeah.
It's fine. Everybody makes bad jokes.
Did you ever watch that movie, Cable Guy?
With Jim Carrey?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's been many, many years, but yeah.
That's the first time I ever remember Jack Black being in a movie. Mm-hmm. And if you blink your eyes, you'll miss him. But he's like the video newscast. He's an employee there.
Right. And I remember seeing his young face randomly.
Yeah, I just remember he's like getting mad. He's like, he goes up to Matthew Broderick. Isn't that who it is?
I'm not great with names. I think so.
It's the main character.
There's like a few actors from that era that kind of all look the same.
Yeah, I might be mixing them up. We'll hear, like I said, I'll hear about it in the comments. But sure, y'all know who I'm talking about. He peeks in there for like just a minute. He's like, "Are you ready to rock?" You know, I mean, and he doesn't even. He's just like a little kid. He's like, because he invited him to go see like Alice in Chains concert or something. And he's like, man, I can't go because Alice, she's got a thing, and I'm going to go. And he's like, man, you always do this. You know, it's like the movie thing, but that's the first time I ever remember Jack Black being in a movie.
Yeah, I was introduced to him via the Tenacious D movie, and then from there I went back and saw some of the other stuff. But I guess like School of Rock was another one of the first ones that was just a classic, absolutely massive. But yeah. Old Tenacious D. But yeah, I don't know. As far as how everything moves forward, like what you were saying earlier, 20, 30 years, like what is content consumption going to look like? Mm-hmm. I don't know. Like it could just be like, as far as I know, we're going to have like a little port here and you just like pop a disc into your head and like you're just walking around and that's your daily soundtrack, But I don't know. I think more likely everything's going to be pretty similar to what it is now. I mean, everything's there's going to be more efficient, data transfer devices and things like that. Things are going to change as far as how we consume like this data more so than the content. But I don't think things are going to be too awful different. But what do I know? That depends on if it depends on the state of the world in 20, 30 years because everything's so shaky right now.
Yeah. And that might be a good liaison into another topic. But before we jump there, I do want to make a point, and this is very philosophical in nature. But one thing you have to understand with people is we're all human, and in human nature, we're all really kind of the same. Right. And we don't change as people, but the technology around us does.
Right.
So you have to think about how is technology going to change to better serve how we are always going to be forever. You know what I mean? Because people aren't really going to change. And I don't mean it from a cynical standpoint. I mean, yeah, there's always going to be wars and we're going to fight, but we also all need connection. We want to feel love. We want to feel connected.
Right.
And how we do that, whether it's in person, through digital formats, if there's a way that we can find technology and entertain ourselves, but also connect us with other people,
right?
The industry is always going to flow to what the demand is for things.
Yeah.
So,
and I don't know. I'm a little torn on it because, like, technology seems so enmeshed in every single aspect of every single thing that we do these days. But like honestly, like if you zoom out historically, like it's pretty new, like in the grand scale of things. And like, I don't know, like I do feel like we're kind of, I don't know that we're out of like the test trial era of technology yet, just as far as how it impacts society and.
Or you're just saying like, have
like,
we reached the pinnacle of the best that it's going to be?
Well, no, like obvious, like I don't, technology can always be better and it will always get better exponentially. But like, as far as is it good for us, like that's what I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I can tell you without a doubt, social media has not. It might have connected us to people better,
right?
But from a Discord standpoint,
yeah, and just how people talk to each other, which I don't know. Like people point the finger at social media a lot for that, and like I think that makes a lot of sense. And I mean, obviously, you see people being extremely shitty to each other on social media all the time in ways that they won't be face to face. But also, like, people were a lot more rowdy back in the day, so like maybe they were saying these things face to face. Like, yeah. So I don't know. Like, I feel like this, especially when it comes to like political confrontation and stuff like that. Like, people are so up in arms about things, and
there needs to be a system of checks and balances. Okay, so if you go on Facebook and you tell Karen you fucking hate her casserole that she made at Thanksgiving and she's a bitch, right. You need to be able to, after that, you have to agree to meet up in person and tell it to her in person,
right, yeah.
too.
Yeah, there's a binding contract here that you will have to meet each other in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
To say
so
this
if
again.
you can make this comment,
right.
But you're going to have to face them in person afterwards.
Right. We need enforcement.
Now listen, Karen.
We need confrontation enforcement to enforce confrontation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it would suck if your name was Karen.
Dude, no, right?
Like everybody's like, don't be a Karen, but I know quite a few Karens, and they're not really Karen.
They're perfectly normal people. Like,
yeah, they're not your Karen.
That's like the same thing with like being a Chad. Like, if your name is Chad or Karen, you're having a rough like 5 years so far, and that's unfortunate.
I only know one bad Chad. The rest are good Chads.
I only know a couple Chads. I think they're all right. I mean,
they're okay.
They're fine. Yeah,
it's pretty sweet, I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Like with technology and everything, like to get a little on the conspiratorial side of things, I guess. Like you hear about how 5G's melting our brains and all that kind of shit. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't feel my brain melting, but also, who am I to say? Like, once again,
it
a
little
pretty
weird
new.
lately, but that's just because I'm getting old, I think.
Right, and I mean, like, everybody's kind of losing their minds, but, like, I don't know if I should point at the 5G or the fact that, like, everything in the world is telling us that the world is ending, or, like, what is making everyone go crazy? I think it could be a lot of things, like, and I don't know, people, as far as social media goes, and I've said it before on the podcast, but, like, people are just too certain about things, like, people think they know too much. Like everything going right now, and like we don't have to get too deep into the political side of everything. I don't want to go for too much longer over our hour limit, but like everybody right now, for instance, like, and especially with Trump, since he's been involved in the political system, like everything has been turned up to 12.
He's
like
very
as far
polarizing.
Right. And he brings a lot of that on himself. And, I go back and forth. Like, I wouldn't consider myself MAGA. I wouldn't consider myself, like, completely anti-Trump and everything that he's tried to do. Mm-hmm. I think that there are a lot of good reasons to want to make some of the changes that he wants to make. I just think that he could potentially be doing it in a more destructive way than what is necessary. So and once again though, I'm not an economist, I'm not a politician, I don't know, I'm not certain about any of this stuff. So I guess all I'm trying to say is just stop yelling at people on social media over things that you might end up being wrong about in a week. Everything right now, the economy's crashing and blah 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 blah. But I think, and once again, I don't know, but I'm just going to talk some shit because this is a podcast and this is what we're here to do. But you hear people,
and we can say what we want, okay?
Right. And if you've been listening to us for 50 minutes, that means you like us enough not to yell at me for saying this.
Yes.
But,
just do it in the comments.
Right. But
then after we have to meet up in 30 minutes.
Right.
And do it to face to
you
face.
say it to my face. But I just think people are yelling at each other too much over shit that they don't fully understand, and the economy stuff. I have stocks. I don't have a lot of stocks. I'm not a rich person. I can't afford a whole lot of stocks. I got a little bit of money in the stock market. I got a 401k and that kind of stuff. I understand shit's going down and that it looks pretty bad at the moment. But also, if you look at, historically, it's not that much worse than it was, 5, 6, 7 years ago. I don't know. It hasn't fallen enough to warrant the response in the media, I don't think. But, everything wrapped up around Trump right now and, Doge. And it's just that there is a mountain of layers upon layers upon layers of shit that they're doing right now. And I think that's by design, so nobody knows what to yell at them about. Mm-hmm. And I don't think Trump's any kind of a savior or anything like that, but I think shit was bad enough before, and not to say when Biden was in office or when Obama was in office or Bush or any of that. Shit has always been bad, and everybody from time to time will be willing to agree that shit is pretty bad as far as...
Except Trump.
Well, yeah.
It doesn't matter how bad it could be. He's it's the best it's ever been.
Well, no, that's not my point exactly. America at large, as far as how the poor are treated, how we deal with wars in foreign countries, everybody that is middle class and below is stuck where they are or worse. You hear the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. It's
yes.
The poor aren't getting poorer because they don't have money in the fucking first place anymore. There is no poorer. They can't get there. They can't get any poorer.
You can't broke.
Right. So when you have, and to, once again, this is going to maybe push some buttons, but with the whole education system, we have all this money going into education, but you have the worst scores in the world. So it's we're dumping all this money into shit that isn't working. So when Trump comes in with a sledgehammer and is just let's fucking see what this does, I'm kind of just okay. And I mean, maybe that's a pessimistic view about it. But I feel one way or another, I feel the system that we had it worked for some people, but most people, I think it's either, if it's not, driving you to hunger or starvation, it's driving you crazy because you're seeing this wild level of hypocrisy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
My opinion on, in particular, the education is, if we do take a sledgehammer to it, mm-hmm. fine. But have a plan.
Right. No.
Yeah, let's not destroy everything until we have at least a method. And maybe they do and we haven't heard about it.
And see, if that's the thing. If they do have a plan, and if they... see, the hardcore MAGA people always want to go oh, Trump's playing his 5D chess. And it's yeah. Look at this motherfucker tweet, or on Truth Social or whatever. No, this is not a man that's playing 5D chess. Let's be honest.
And I've even heard, and sort of to piggy off that he's crashing the stock market so he can get his rich folks to buy up stocks now while they're cheap, and then rebuild the economy.
Yeah, I've heard that, and I don't know the ins and outs of it, but something about interest rates getting cut, this, that's what his plan is. This is going to force interest rates to go down on housing and shit like that. But I don't know how any of that works. I don't really want to get into all that, but supposedly he has a plan, but I think that if you're going to be, taking a wrecking ball to government organizations that people are depending on to feed their families, like, you need to do a little bit more explaining about what you're doing and go a little bit slower. And like part of the problem, like with Doge and everything, like them just going in and hacking and slashing everything they can, is like they're on a time limit because Elon Musk only has like 100 days as like the special operation agent or whatever the fuck he's called. Like, he's only got 100 days to where he can work with the government. So like they're just kind of burning through as much as they can. But like when you're doing that, you're not accounting for people with real lives that are in the middle of all this shit. Like, because I believe that there's a massive amount of government corruption, but I also believe that there's a lot of people that are just working in these systems because they're trying to feed their families and they needed a job, so they took a job. And I mean, I don't think it's right just to dump them on their heads and good luck.
Yeah.
And in a country where there is no jobs to be had.
I look at the past, I want to say the greater part of 8 years of the Trump era. I know Biden served for 4 years, but the 4 years before that, and now we got 4 years with him now. It really woke me up to what I thought humanity thought. You know what I mean? Like, and I'll explain myself here in a second. It woke me up to and it was hard. It was a hard pill for me to swallow for a long time. And I've been saying this many times. One of my best friends, he's super Trump supporter. And I've openly said, I'm more independent. I mean, I'll be completely transparent. I lean a little more Democrat, but I'm more independent than any, especially over the past 16 years of the way the political climate has carried itself.
I mean, I don't understand how a regular person looks at either side, hard Republican, hard Democrat.
Well,
that's me.
I've said for years that the only way for our political system to gain some sort of equilibrium is for your far right and your far left to meet somewhere in the middle, because it has just gone so far as you can go. And it's the left is way too far left for me. The right is certainly way too far right for me.
Right.
But my point being, back to what I was saying about humanity, the thing that bothered me the most, and it was the hardest pill for me to swallow, is people don't give a fuck about the character of your president. They want him to get shit done and do his job.
Yeah.
There's a small group of people that do care about character. And what you say matters and blah, 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 and this and that. What makes a president good? Is it how he says it or actually what he does? And I'm going to say this because this is what cost the election, the economy. And the term is, it's the economy, stupid. And it really is the economy, stupid.
Right. Yeah.
And even on a local level, I'm not going to come into bring up this whole subject, but in our small little community, the reason that we are, I guess, going back and forth politically about a subject is about money.
Right.
It's about where tax money should go. And people get really, really, really passionate and fired up about their own money and giving the government tax dollars. And it's always been about their money. I don't care if you're an asshole to everybody. Just don't take my money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm getting at is people don't care about character. They care about their money.
Right.
So,
but even then, I feel like there's a little bit of a facade there, because people get fired up about these issues when they get shoved in their faces. But on a normal Tuesday, if you go ask somebody what the 25% of their paycheck got spent on, they don't know. They have no fucking clue. And they hadn't even thought about it till that point. They might have been mad about it from time to time because they don't know, but then they didn't go look. They don't know how to look it up. I don't know. And as far as the presidential character thing, Trump is certainly a douchebag. And he comes across as like a corrupt banker, essentially, that's his forward-facing persona, I think.
Yeah.
But then, like, all of the other politicians, like, you know, you can look at somebody like Obama who, you know, by all accounts, like, when he's talking to people, like, that's a stand-up guy. Like, wow, what a leader.
No,
what an amazing leader. But, like, then you see, like, all the shit that he was tied up in, and, like, you know, the big one for me with him anyway was like the 90% civilian kill rate with like drone strikes, for instance, which is monstrous in my opinion. But he talks nice, so I don't know. Like he's not rude to women. That's nice, and I'm not saying that it's okay to be rude to women like Trump is, and like none of that's okay. But also, it's like I feel like a lot of people are forgiving politicians for putting on a mask. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if we should give them credit for that.
Yeah. Okay, that's a really good point. Yeah, I mean, you could say, yeah, Trump is brash and he's rude, but he doesn't, so and so to speak, I don't want to say lie because maybe that's important, but yeah.
No, they all lie.
Yeah.
That's fine. Everybody knows. They know it. It's okay. But, all right. Well, I think we're over an hour here now, so I guess we can go ahead and wrap up episode 3 here for today. If you're still hanging with us, we do appreciate it. Get in the comments. Let us know what you want us to talk about. We'll dig into who knows what in the future. I think with this podcast, the possibilities are endless. Like,
yes,
we could uncover like some world secrets, or like in 5 episodes we could be like testing different kinds of mayonnaise or something. Like, I don't know what's going to happen at this point. Like,
yeah. Let us know in the comments. What do you want us to talk about? What do you like to hear about? What interests you?
All right. Well, thank you for watching. Once again, we'll holler at you later.
Hello. Earth. Have we met?